A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the abridged version of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, as we speak, a match is currently going on in the UEFA Champions League. Tonight, we want to start from home. Let's start with what is happening here at home. And we'll go all the way to Bayelsa State to talk about an event that happened today where Deborah Quickpen was received by the Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri today. Of course, Deborah Quickpen is the under-10 African champion with regards to the game of chess. So it was a good event today, and she was welcome. You could see the applause. And of course, the government made the announcement today at the State Executive Council meeting. And of course, the Commissioner for Sports, Daniel Igali, was present as well. And he applauded the parents of the chess prodigy and also awarded Deborah a cash gift of 4 million naira. I want you to listen to what transpired today and, of course, how the governor made the announcement. That will come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Let me, on behalf of the government of Bayelsa State and the good people of Bayelsa State, welcome you back home and give you a very big congratulations. Congratulations, Deborah. You are a worthy daughter of the state. And having started on this beautiful note, your government, the miracle governor, the miracle deputy governor, and the miracle government of Bayelsa State will support you. We pray that you will move from glory to glory. We pray that you will win more laurels for your country. And you will be an ambassador of the youths in Bayelsa State. You will be an ambassador of the youths in Nigeria. And from today, you have been appointed as an ambassador of Bayelsa State youth. And your appointment is in your academics. I hereby announce that your academics should be followed up with the game you already know how to play. And therefore, they have to choose a school that has both academics and sports, particularly chess. They have to choose a school for you, be it in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. And your state government will from today take over your expenditures. It follows, therefore, that you have been awarded a scholarship by the Bayelsa State government. From your secondary education to your university. And because you and your parents and our sports department did what they did without even approvals from the state government and tried as much as possible to represent this state and this country, I hereby announce an award of 4 million naira to you. And this is with immediate effect, and that 4 million naira has to be released before Friday this week.
Congratulations to Deborah Quickpen and, of course, the Bayelsa State government, doing what we've always clamored for and supporting sports talent, nurturing sports talent. And also the governor encouraged other parents to nurture their children like the parents of Deborah has done. All right, so let's move on from that quickly. Let me just introduce my partner on the show today, Kari Ahmed. We're going to spend a few minutes we have left to talk about things happening in the world of sports. Great to see you, Kyrie. Thanks for finding out time to be with me on the show tonight.
Yeah, great to be part of the show as always. Good evening, Lagos.
All right, let's just dive straight into it. Matches are currently going on in the UEFA Champions League, but before we go to that, let's talk about Newcastle. The search for a manager is what is currently going on. A lot of names have been thrown in the mix, but currently one name has been removed by the confirmation that the person gave to us. Talking about Villarreal's Unai Emery, he has confirmed that, of course, there were talks. Newcastle were interested in his services, but he will not be leaving Villarreal. So, how did you receive that? And does that in any way affect what Newcastle are trying to do?
Well, so far it's been less than ideal situation for the Saudi consortium that ousted Mike Ashley and took over reins of Newcastle. And coming from the Spaniard, Unai Emery, saying he would rather stick with the Roig family, that's the owners of Villarreal, that will not be coming over for Newcastle, leaves a bitter taste in the mouth. And for a consortium that is yet to appoint a chief executive or a director of football, it means they're still struggling to adjust to the realities of owning a club. Majority of Tunis fans, talking about Newcastle fans, were quite disappointed because Unai Emery is quite experienced in the Premiership. This is a man that had a 55% win ratio with Arsenal. And they needed somebody with experience, even though they spoke with Fonseca, the former AS Roma coach, but they wanted Unai Emery with more experience in the Premiership. But him saying he wants to stay put at Villarreal, having done quite well with them, winning the Europa League with them last season, beating Manchester United, and winning yesterday the UEFA Champions League, beating Young Boys, is looking for stability rather than going over to a club side that is still grappling with the current realities. And the fact that Newcastle are still more like in the murky waters of relegation, and the consortium not knowing the right from the left, because he did say in the statement that he released that there was a lack of clear vision, and he wouldn't want to leave stability for instability. Those are part of the reasons that informed Unai Emery ruling himself out of the Newcastle job. But now we understand that they may have to shift focus to former Bournemouth manager, talking about Eddie Howe, and the current national team handler of Belgium, Roberto Martinez. And the possibility of having Fonseca in the talks is also in the mix as well. So we don't know where the pendulum will swing as regards who's going to be the manager, because right about now they need some measure of stability, moving past the talking about the jubilation and the acceleration of having new consortium. It's time for business, and they need to get a manager right now. But it's just unfortunate that Unai Emery ruled himself out of the equation because of lack of vision.
All right, so that's interesting to note. A lot of names been linked to that job. At some point, we even had Wayne Rooney, is one of those names as well. Let's quickly go to the UEFA Champions League and get a situation report in the UEFA Champions League. The results will come up on your screen. It has gone from bad to worse for Atletico Madrid. They've gotten a red card, and they're trailing Liverpool by 2 goals at Anfield. Felipe has just been red carded, and so in the earlier game, AC Milan and FC Porto, he ended 1-1. Manchester City and Club Brugge currently battling it out. 39 minutes of football played. Leipzig and PSG, by the way, Lionel Messi not in that game, is 1-1 as we speak. 39 minutes of football in that one. Dortmund are a goal up and a man down. They're playing against Ajax. Remember, Ajax won the reverse fixture. Sporting Lisbon and Besiktas, the game. Sporting actually leads 2-0 in that game. Sporting is leading Besiktas 2-0. Then in the other matches, you see the other matches, Real Madrid and Shakhtar. Game ended earlier. Real Madrid beating Shakhtar 2-1, and FC Sheriff and Inter. Of course, you have the result on your screen. It is still goalless as of now. So those are the results. Kade, let me get your thoughts quickly. Let's start with what's happening to Dortmund. I mean, they lost the last time out to Ajax. Didn't believe it. Now they're a goal up, a man down. Atletico Madrid thought they're going to put up a fight, but now 2 goals down and a man down, and they're playing at Anfield.
Well, in football, you never say never. For Borussia Dortmund, despite being a man down, but being in the league, it's football. Anything can happen. They can just soak the pressure with the hope of eating Ajax Amsterdam against the run of play. But then it's football, like I did say earlier, anything can happen. But for Atletico Madrid, being down by 2 goals so early in the game and a man down, it means Liverpool will just have to keep piling up pressure on the Spanish club. And with Diego Jota and Sadio Mane getting quick goals, it means that with the likes of Mohamed Salah, Jota, and Sadio Mane, you just would expect that Liverpool will take advantage of that mishap of Atletico Madrid having a man down, and they will take advantage of that. And at the game between Man City and Club Brugge, Man City actually scored both goals because John Stone got an own goal for Manchester City. It's 1-1 right now. And the under encounter between PSG and RB Leipzig, the two of them are sharing the spoils at the moment. And it is stuff like this that we witness on match days at the UEFA Champions League, the morning spinning UEFA Champions League. Everybody's just trying to get to the top 16. Let's see how it goes. And so far, so good. It's been the quality football that I've been witnessing.
All right, since you talked about it, let's just say it quickly. PSG and the opponents, RB Leipzig. PSG just made it to Jorginho Wijnaldum just scored for PSG, and it appears like they're not missing Lionel Messi. Angel Di Maria slotting in the place Lionel Messi would have played if he was on the field. But a lot of people seem not to be impressed with PSG. They win the French league quite easily, but in Europe, they seem top-heavy. Midfield, not a lot of creativity in the midfield, and the defense sometimes seems to leak in goals. And we're saying all of that because we all know their ambition is to win the UEFA Champions League.
Exactly. It leaves much to be desired if you have a Mauricio Pochettino, and they're giving less than impressive displays so far. They brought in one of the best players in the world, talking about Lionel Messi, in the bid to make a good team better. We know that they are the top gunners in the Ligue 1 in France, and their ambition is to win the UEFA Champions League. But if your midfield and the defense keep letting you down, on days when other competitors from the European continent like Manchester City, Chelsea, and Bayern Munich are in their element, how would you fare against such teams? So they need to move from just being good to better, and possibly from better to being the best, if not one of the best on the European continent. The only goal is the UEFA Champions League, no doubt. Are they going to win it this season? It remains to be seen. But we know they have the potential to be much more better than they are doing right now. And they are a bit underwhelming, even with Lionel Messi in the team.
That's true. And speaking about situation report, Besiktas and Sporting, that game we reported 2-0 earlier, is 3 now. Sporting running away with that. All right, let's go back to what happened yesterday. Just when you thought that Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be put under more pressure, Cristiano Ronaldo steps up and comes to the rescue. But then again, the danger lights flashing, danger signals keep flashing. They were able to get something from that game, but I'm very sure a lot of the fans are still very worried with the performances of the Red Devils of late.
Yeah, without a doubt, Manchester United are walking a tightrope. And like you say in football parlance, the buck stops at the table of the coach. The Norwegian in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't really been able to stamp authority with the team. Like I did say last week, he keeps tinkering with the lads, and you don't know quite much about his starting 11. And against Atalanta yesterday, they often fought. They were solid at some point, and they also struggled. And CR7 yet again, saving the blushes of Solskjaer. But for how long will he be doing this? On days where he's less than impressive, will other players step up to the plate? And for Manchester United, keeping faith in the Norwegian, says a lot about the fact that they're giving him opportunity to further impress and turn the tide in his favor. But thus far, he has been unable to do that with Rafa Varane, Jadon Sancho, and other additions to the team, especially CR7. One would expect that they will be performing far better than this. But then again, you might want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's still early days in the league. But right now, if all the games have played collectively in the Champions League and the Premiership is anything to go by, it leaves much to be desired. And Manchester United is still far away from being a stable team that can compete for titles, be it the Premiership or even the UEFA Champions League.
All right, Kari, let's spend the few minutes we have left to talk basketball. That's your turf. Let's go and take a look at the results. I'm very sure you want to talk about Milwaukee Bucks. Of course, we have reasons to keep talking about Milwaukee Bucks. On the screen, the results, blowouts, Milwaukee Bucks beating Detroit Pistons, 117 points to 89. You have other results. And the Lakers now edging past Houston Rockets, the big three shining in that one, and you have other results. So I want you to talk about those matches, those games, if you can, but with special emphasis on the Bucks and the Lakers.
Okay, no doubt. The Bucks were expected to win against Pistons because Pistons are 1-6. They've won just one game and they are still rebuilding. Even with the number one draft pick, Kate Cunningham coming back from injury, we expect a team that has got the likes of Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo and our own Jordan Water to get the better of the Pistons. And we saw Giannis leading the pack with 28 points. Mora did very, very well coming from the bench with 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. And at some point at the end of the third quarter, the Bucks were 28 points ahead of Detroit Pistons. You knew they were going to win, and that they did convincingly yesterday. In the East, we know they're one of the top guns alongside the Hawks and even the Nets. But with an injury-free Drew Holiday, Middleton, and of course Giannis Antetokounmpo, not forgetting our own Jordan Water who comes from the bench to add to the pack. They definitely are one team to look out for in the East. And going to the West, for the Lakers, they are not a team we expect them to be just yet, but they're just edging out with the results. Against Houston Rockets yesterday, it was quite close. And second draft pick, Jalen Green, gave the Lakers a run for their money. It was just 2 points that decided the game, 119 to 117. But we saw LeBron James accounting for 30 points and Anthony Davis with 27. Carmelo Anthony came from the bench to also make his inclusion count. And right about now, one would hope that the Lakers would be consistent because having won 2 games last week, they lost surprisingly against OKC. OKC Thunder are also rebuilding, but with LeBron back, he'll give them some measure of stability, and hopefully they do well just to make the playoffs. And should these 3 guys talking about Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony, and of course LeBron James, not forgetting Russell Westbrook, if they remain fit, like I've said again and again, Lakers might just be in the mix for the championship.
All right, let's take a look at fixtures to come, and quite a number. And I just want you to talk on a few of them. It's going to come up on your screen. Cleveland Cavaliers up against the Portland Trail Blazers, Indiana Pacers up against the New York Knicks, Orlando Magic up against Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers will be up against Chicago Bulls, Washington Wizards take on Toronto Raptors, Brooklyn Nets will try on Atlanta Hawks for size, Memphis Grizzlies will take on the Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves will be up against the Clippers, San Antonio Spurs against Dallas Mavericks, Golden State Warriors up against the Charlotte Hornets, and the Sacramento Kings up against the New Orleans Pelicans. You have a little over a minute to take us through what to expect and maybe what we should look out for.
Okay, let's look out for the games between the Atlanta Hawks and the Nets. We understand that Kyrie Irving might just be staging a comeback because yesterday a new mayor in the city of New York emerged and he said he might just overlook the vaccination protocol. If that happens, we'll get to see Kyrie Irving earlier than we anticipated. But for the Nets, in the absence of Kyrie Irving, they've been struggling. They have a record of 4-3 right now. And also, the Hawks as well have a record of 4-3. And with Trae Young, John Collins, and other lads making the inclusions count, I want to see how that game would pan out. Another key game for me is the one between Celtics and the Magic. Celtics has gone Ime Udoka of Nigerian roots as the coach. But Celtics have struggled lately. One of the players, Marcus Smart, called out two key figures in Jalen Brown and, of course, Jason Tatum out, saying that they don't want to pass the ball. And if you watch the game against the Bulls 2 days ago, the Bulls came from 19 points down to beat them quite convincingly. And they didn't have much to do in terms of defensive rebounds. So I want to see how the Celtics will come back against their team tonight to see if they will come back to winning ways. Other games are run between the Raptors and the Wizards, and not forgetting the Hornets taking on the Warriors. For the Hornets, we've seen LaMelo Ball doing it quite well, and of course, let's see how Steph Curry will fare on the night.
All right, Kade, I want to thank you for your time on the show today. Always fun doing this with you. Hopefully, we'll do this again next week.
Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's our man, Kade. Of course, having fun telling us what's happening in the world of sports. We're about to go. Nothing has changed in the UEFA Champions League. Half-time in the 6 matches currently going on. 2 matches already concluded. And so that's a wrap on the show tonight. We hope you've enjoyed the abridged version of the show. We're back here again tomorrow to do what we love doing best, taking you on the trip across the money-spinning world of sports. I'm Emery. Bye-bye now.